Hey guys, so today you wanted to know how much I made in 1 year in trading. So I'll be explaining everything I did from the beginning of 2025 till the end and what strategies I used before and how I adapted. So I'll be showing it right now. Okay, so in short, I've made around $158. So, on my first video, I said I will try to make 1K, $1,000. But, I made some mistakes from the beginning of 2025 and Donald Trump became the new president at that time. So the market was a little bit different, but around April I adapted. I was like, okay, I gotta change my strat. This strat is not working. So I changed a lot of things. Then it was doing well. Then around June or July, I think. Let's see. I think it was June. Yeah. Oh, damn. My gosh. So around June, let's make this a little bit bigger. So around, let's say, June. Let's see. Where's right, June, I made some mistakes. You know, I could have done better. I think I could have made around $200 on June, but I adapted on July. So the reason why I've made some the reason why I didn't make around 200 is because, like, let's say this is a trend line, right? Say we followed all the strategies, blah blah blah. So let's say I took a buy over here, right? And say it goes on till, no, let's not make that as an example. Let's choose this one right here. Let's choose this one, alright? Let's say it hits like around 200 pips, right? Usually I said if it goes up to 200 pips, I will do a trend line method. So let's say, usually this should be my strat right here. Let's say that I would take profit right over here if it breaks that trend line like really hard, like this. I would take profit already. But I was so greedy that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait till it goes up to my take profit, because my take profit was like 300 pips, like around here. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait, and yeah, I keep waiting till it hits my break even. So I made some mistakes, but I was like, you know what? I'll never do that again. I'll be strict. If it goes 200 pips, I will follow the trend line break method, and once it breaks that trend line, I will take profit. So that is my strategy right now. That is what I'm gonna follow. And yeah, now I took a trade around December 30. I could have taken a trade around here, around December 24, but like I was like resting. Again, December should be my rest day. But then I went back, because I want to check. Because since it's almost January 1, I just want to check. And I just saw this opportunity that I have to take. So I took it. And right now it's going up. It went down a little bit. I put my stop loss below this wick over here. So you see I put it below there. Below my demand zone. So, by the way, I'll be explaining this strategy next year. Today's actually December. I'm sure it's December 31, 2025. So, next year, I'll be talking about next year if I win this trade. Because if I talk about my losses, I have losses that I've talked about in this channel. But I said I won't do it anymore because it's like really bad for my psychology. I want to like learn from it, I don't want to talk about it because it hurts me. This is actually the reality of trading. But let's say if I win this trade, I'll be explaining it. If I lose, I will learn from it and move on. I'm not going to talk about it because if I talk about it, it's just going to hurt more. It's just going to hurt more. Like, it's just going to make my psychology works. So all I want to do is be humble. If I lose, I'll be humble and learn from my mistakes. That's it. And losing's normal, because every loss is an opportunity. Like, okay, if I lose this, then let's see what happens next. I'll always learn every time. That's how trading is. You always adapt and you always learn. So, okay, June, I made some mistakes. Then July, I was like, okay, I have to follow the trend line method. If it breaks, if it goes 200 pips and if it breaks, I have to take profit. So, July I made around 42. Okay. August and September was a bit slow. August $5, September 27, October. By the way, I made my biggest trade ever around October 6 to 10. I made around $110 in one trade. That was a good freaking trade. And yeah, all in all, I've made on October around $114. That is not bad. Then around November, I made 20, and I was like, you know what? I'm already happy. $20 is not that bad. And December, I was resting. Okay. So what's next? Let's see. Oh yeah, let's check this part right here. So you can see that my win percentage in months. All right, I don't count my losses in trades. I count my losses in months. So January I made 161. Feb, you can see it. You can see it all. You can see it all. So basically, my win percentage is 63.64%. That is, I think that's average. Average win percentage for trading. I think it's around 40. The average is like 40 to like 60%. I think that's like the average win percentage for trading. So you can see over here. Yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, I said, I wanted to make like 1,000. I'm trying to make, and I made some mistakes, but I hope next year I could have made around 500, minimum 500 to 1K. If it's below 500, you know what? As long as I made money, as long as I make money, I'm okay. I'll keep learning, I'll keep adapting, and I'll keep finding ways to make more money in trading. I'll keep being disciplined. The reason why I made money because I was disciplined, and yeah, that helped me to not lose a lot of money. Instead of losing money, I made money, and I've done it. I mean, I've made money. At least I've made 158. It's better than losing or making nothing at all. It's way better. So, and by the way, this is my strategy. If you want to see, if you want to learn it, you can search on YouTube how to learn this strat. Risk management, the made strategy. The made strategy is really good. Trend line breaks, 2-point touch break, 3-point touch break, and multiple touch break. Then support and resistance, price action, supply and demand, break and retest strategy, reversal patterns. You can see it all over there. The double bottom, double top, head and shoulders, blah blah blah. The reversals, candlesticks, break even strategy, liquidity sweep, and break of structure. So that is my strategy. The break even strategy is really good. You guys need to learn that. It's really good. And yeah, and you can see here my goal. My goal is to make 5K to 20K in 6 years. That's my goal. That's my goal. I just hope if I reach 5K in 6 years, it's not bad. It's not bad for me. And trading is a slow process. The more money you make, it's easy. The more money you make, the easier the money will come. It's true. Making more money will be easier if you make more money. That is so true. I mean, with my dad, he said, the more money you make, it's easier to make even more money if you make even more money. So yeah. Now we're on year 2026. And I hope I win this. I hope I made money in this trade. Alright, that's basically it. My strategy, my goal in 6 years. Yeah, everything's planned. Everything's planned. That's it. That's my plan. I mean, that's my strategy. That's my journey in trading. Everything oh my god, my nose is so itchy, my face, having allergies. But yeah, that is my strategy. everything I did, every, every all of it's, all I did was, all I have is discipline. That's how I made money. So that's it. See you guys next time.